Hello everybody, welcome back to the Metroid Fusion speedrun tutorial. In this episode we're going to go over Sector 3. Down a bit. Right, so where we left off, we now have the speed booster. And we're going to be traveling from Sector 4 to Sector 3. Sector 3 is relatively short, all things considered. So, I think what I might do is make this a, 2 sectors in this episode. 1 video, 2 sectors. I guess Sector 3 is relatively short, in your first pass through. So, yeah. Alright. This sector has a lot of speed booster tricks. Now that you have it, they want you to use it. You would think that Sector 4 would be the only place, like, okay, yeah, this is how you use it. Not the case. So I'm going to save right here. So, at the beginning of the sector, just start immediately running to the right and hold right. Open the doors as you pass through. Now, it's very important. You're just going to continue to hold right. You don't have to pause here. I'm pausing just to explain this. You're just going to continue to hold right. You don't have to do anything else. Because you're going to break speed blocks that are coming up here. So, right here. What you can do is if you get it frame perfect. I didn't get it. You're able to at least store a shine spark here. So once you come down here, this is the fastest way to get down, by the way. The other way is... Hang on. The alternative is doing this. Well, it's time. The alternative is basically the route I just took, coming down this way. And then going this way, but then you have to run backwards anyway, because you have to get a speed booster. So, essentially, you're just gonna... Oh, the door's open, I guess. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I saved in the... So again, you're just gonna run in, keep holding to the right, and then just drop down. Then, as soon as you hit the ground, you just want to immediately start running and spamming shots. This room is very important. So, you're gonna need to store the spark. And you get it, as you saw, I got it, like, right around here. So you have, like, from here to here to actually store it if you want. You don't have to store it if you don't want to. Oh, shoot. Whoopsie. That was a mistake. But storing it allows you to shine spark directly over here, which... These blocks are all destroyable, except for these. There's a wall of, I think this one too. No. Okay, so literally the outside blocks to this, all the blocks that are within this confined space are breakable by shots or bombs. But the outside shell there is speed booster blocks. So, really what you're going to want to do, I mean, you can run in and just run right through that wall, right? And you can just keep going, or, you know, you can do that, and then just keep going, store it and spark upwards. Something like that, or the other alternative would be, you know, you break through the wall, you start here, and you jump around at that, right around here. Right before you hit that downward slope, you'll jump, and you'll be perfectly... As long as you're, like, jumping anywhere on this slope, or, like, at the very edge here, you should be able to get this jump pretty consistently. So again, it's just right there. And you saw that I was kind of like down here when I made the jump this time. I was a little further down. And that's fine. That's not a big deal. whatever it, you know, wherever you have to be, you ever have to place yourself, as long as you're within this kind of like frame, and it's a bit of a tight window to kind of hit consistently. So let me just show that one more time. But here's the other way that you can go about this. That entire wall in the exterior is, here's the bombs. As you can see, this is the crumble block. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to run in, I'm going to store this, I'm going to spin jump shot, and then I'm going to press A again to kind of spark along the top of the wall. And that was a bit fast, and I'll show it to you again. As you can see, there's the speed booster blocks, that's not going to break the wall. So, fastest way to get out of here is I'm just going to reset. The like, again, you can, I've showed you 3 different ways that you can break those blocks. God, sorry, my shoulder's kind of uncomfortable at the moment. You can run in and just break through the wall, then get a second running spark. You can, you can run in and store the spark, and you can, you know, shine spark either along the ground or like this, or you can come up here. And it's a real quick movement, and I know I've showed this before where you kind of just run your like thumb along here, where you just kind of press the 2 buttons like that, just swipe it along, and it'll look a little like this. Like if I jump up here, it'll look like this. Ready? So, and you want to do a spin jump. That's the other important thing, because if you don't do a spin jump, you're just going to activate the spark. You can just come back this way and do that. This one, it's really easy to get. The other way, I'm going to try to get it one more time. The frame perfect shine store, you have to press down on a very specific, on the frame that you land. And you can do it unpause buffer, or you can pause buffer it. I didn't get it. Oh well. But as soon as you get it, you don't want to like shine spark too low, you don't want to go too high. So once you're up here, just lay a bomb, and you're in the security room. And now, green doors are unlocked, we can progress further. So, the one thing that this is going to happen, that's going to change now, is that you notice that there were no enemies within the sector at all. Now, because that we've opened these doors, you know, we're going to see enemies throughout the sector. So, what we're going to do here is we're just going to, I'm going to make a save right here. And we're just going to run. And we're not going to worry about anything else. We're just going to run, and as soon as we can, we're going to jump out of there. Now, there's a very specific time that you can jump that's technically quicker, because it'll allow you to land sooner so you can begin running again. And I believe it's this pole right. Whoop, I've already missed it. It's right about there. Yeah, so it's that kind of pole. Or you can like wait until you run further into the room, you're closer to the wall, and make the jump, so that way you don't, you know, so right that second in there, or you could kind of do something like that. Really the important thing is, I mean, you want to be able to break this wall. There is an item that you can get, there's an extra missile pack that you can get in there, but you're about to get missiles in a second anyway, so you really shouldn't need to be able to, you know, a second missile pack. But you shouldn't need to get that one specifically, I should say. And it's a little slow and kind of out of the way, especially when you're only in this room for probably an approximate 5 seconds at the most, potentially. Maybe 7 or 10. You're passing through this room twice really quickly. And, you know, you might think, okay, yeah, you know, this might be faster to kind of spark out of here. Well, let's see. Let's time that up. We'll do this time to door. How about that? From door to the other door. Nine seconds, alright. Slightly slower. The reason it's slightly slower is that startup and bonk the startup and bonk animations. And it's not all that much slower, it's only a half second. So if you feel comfortable with doing that, go for it. More swag to you. But you kind of saw what I did, you know, as I was coming through the room. You just want to pass to the right completely until you're in this room. Once you're in this room, you're going to jump up here, and then you're going to jump here. Now, when you jump up, it's important that you morph here, because when you morph, you'll be able to roll right under the stretchy. They roll right under them. So you're going to come in, you can morph in midair, and you're just going to fall down right here and open up this gate. Now, it's important you open up this gate. You can start back here, but around right here is where you want to be, like kind of like eyeball it up just a little bit. So what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to make a save state. Not a save state, but a save. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, and I'm going to try to store a spark on a shine spark block. So that way I can break the block as well as keep the spark to use it. Let's try it. I always do everything on pause buffer right about there. Got it. It's really tight timing to be able to do that, and then we're just gonna come up here and then fix this door. Now that was really quick. I did that very quickly. And I gotta fix that gate again. Oops. Start back here. And you can pause buffer this too. It's right to the right here, so it's gonna be right here. Ooh, I'm literally right under it. Just like that. And then when you come in this room, you can wait, or you can jump up and then press up to get out of that spin jump, and then press A. Up or a shot works, and then just press A to spark directly upwards. It's faster than grabbing the ladder, because grabbing the ladder is this very slow climb. You potentially get shot. You know, it's not ideal. Would you rather do that, or would you rather spark up? That's the real question. Now, you don't have to get this spark. Let me be perfectly clear. You don't have to do that. That's, you know, it takes a long time to be able to kind of feel it out the way I kind of do. So, like, when I come up, I'm just kind of, okay. Shoot. Right about there, I'll turn around, and then I'll just, okay, right about there. So it's like I've got years of practice doing this, so I have visual cues that I've developed to be able to get this stuff, so that way I can get it kind of consistently based on visual cues. You could start back here, but you can also do this, you know, just run and then okay, and then you just come this way. Oops. There we go. And then just climb your way up. Now, when you go through this door, you want to jump through it a little high. Because you see, if I jump through it, you know, I'm not getting, it's not going to be, you know, transition. So I jump through it around the middle or upper portion of it. And it's a smooth transition. But you saw right there, if I just walk through this door, it has to reposition. So this is one of the other door fixes that we do. So we'll say I got the spark. And actually, let me get the spark, because you can either, if you don't get the spark, you can jump through the door. There's something else additional that you can do if you get the spark and spark up directly into this area, which is this. Around. You can shoot and morph in midair. Oops. Well. We'll just say is this shoot, you know, shoot, morph midair, and then you just want to jump through the door as the morph ball, or in morph ball. So as you land, you just kind of want to jump through the door, mid to upper portion, and then roll in. Now, for this, you want to lay up, you want to just come in and do something like this. You just lay a bomb. I don't think that'll work. Let's see. You jump through the door, you can morph here, and then just jump and just lay a bomb to be able to destroy this morph ball tunnel. And then we're just going to roll and pick up these missiles. This missile tank is called Bob. He is the unskippable missile tank. Now, I put it in quotations because there is a way that you can skip Bob. There are two methods. The first method is, I'm going to go to the newly discovered method. When I say newly discovered, I'm of course referring to April of 2018 is when this was discovered by ZX479. I think that's correct. I know it's ZX and the numbers, and I think it's either 479 or 497. It's 479. Anyway, ZX discovered that if you jump into a respawning block, like if you spin jump into a respawning block, it'll push you out of bounds. So, and this only works on the English copy because it came out first. You need to jump into a respawning block, and it'll push you out of bounds past this tank, and you would do it right here, and you just spin jump like this. You spin jump to the right, and it would push you out here. You would have to navigate out of bounds to get to here, and then you just have to kind of bomb jump over. Whoops, not like that. It looks something like that. The bomb jump over to be able to skip it to do 0%. The other way, which we've known about for a very long time, and has only been pulled off on console by I think 5 or 6 people, is you have to store a spark in that room with the stretchy, that first room with the stretchy and the first gate that we saw. The one that we have to open to get the spark to pass through. You have to store a spark and then do 5 frame perfect jumps along with a frame perfect shine spark with 7 frames of error. Or error. However you may pronounce it. That way is incredibly tough. It's a lot of pause buffering, but if you want to go for it and try to learn it, you're gonna be there for a while. So when I picked up Bob, something that I didn't do that I was supposed to is you want to kind of try to lay a bomb as you pick up the item, because as I discussed before, when you pick up items and you lay a bomb, the bomb will still go off. So the bomb will go off and destroy this 2x2 that I'm currently in right now, or well, that's like currently blocking this passage, or was blocking this passage. So that way you can just kind of grab it and then kind of spring ball up. So when you grab it, you'll probably land, well, not what the, probably land somewhere right here. So you can just kind of go do that. And when you get up there, you're just gonna want to lay a bomb. Now, I tend to jump, fire a shot through this tunnel, and then morph again, and that's because there's usually a block that's right here that's perfectly in this area right here. It's a 2x2. So by shooting the block, I'm able to just destroy it and then roll right through. As I roll through, I can just kind of jump up out of the tunnel and unmorph. And there's really no other alternative way to go about that. You can roll up and lay a bomb, that works too. But I find that I find that doing that might be slightly it is slightly slower, I should say. I don't find it slightly slower. It is slightly slower. But choice is yours. Preference falls upon the person playing the game. For this next, I'm gonna make a save here. This next room can be a little annoying, but it should be very easy. When you run in, just gonna hold missiles, and then you're just gonna spam 1, 2, or hang on. Let me back that up. That's not exactly how we do it. At this point, and you can see that here's the block is respawned, right? And I can kind of shoot it. So through this door transition, you're going to hold a charge. Kill this guy with a charge, fire 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then move through. So that was really fast. Let me do that again. I'm going to charge shot the first side hopper here. And then fire 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then be on my way. You can also start with 3 missiles and do it that way as well. There's nothing wrong with that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then that last one can be either killed with the 3 missiles or just run through with a shine spark. You don't really worry about the novas too much. There's really nothing else to this room. Now, if you're going with the 4D missile route, the optimal missile route, you probably only have, let me see, 1, 2, so that's 20, 25, you don't pick up any missiles in Sector 2. Let me think about this. You should only have 25 missiles, because then, let me think about this. 30, 35 on the main deck. Sector 6 missiles is 40. If you, okay, so yeah, you should only have, if you're going optimal missiles, you should only have 25 or 30 missiles here, if you grab the main deck missile. And missile management can be important, because this boss that's about to come up here takes 10 missiles to kill, or a charge shot 9 missiles, or a charge shot 9 missiles, or 2 charge shots. But I'm going to save before that boss, because it can get kind of difficult. So we're just going to run through here. Nothing here completely. And what I'm going to do is, there's a thing you can do here that I'll show off. I'll try to get it. So starting from here, we still have the data room music, which is weird. But I'm just gonna kind of slide and it didn't give me the spark. Rippy dippy. Oh well. You can you can store a spark on there, and you have a 2-frame window to kind of use the spark and shoot this door open as you spark through the room. So we've just acquired the super missiles. This beefs up our missiles entirely, like by 3 times. Instead of doing 10 damage, we're now doing 30 with our missiles, which is a big difference. That means we're going to kill Ghidorahs with a single super missile, and we're going to be just rinsing through enemies. So it took 3 missiles to kill those side hoppers. It will now take 1. And it's really good for missile management, especially because things are going to have more health, and we're able to utilize them a bit more. So I'm just going to run over here and actually, first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save at the edge of this room. I'm going to save right here. That's not far enough. I'm going to save at the end of... I'm going to start from here. So I'm going to run through, and this is a very tight window. You don't have to go for this. But it's faster to, kind of jump with the speed booster there at the end of that platform than it is to store it. The reason being is because, the reason being is because the trigger to trigger this fight actually occurs before the door. So there's 2 different triggers in this room. One for the fight, the second one for the rumbling. And I believe it's right here for the boss. Let me see. Did we get the boss? We did not. Oh, it's okay. It's right here. It's underneath this heat lamp, right where I'm standing. This is the trigger for the boss. Sorry. This one will trigger the boss. The next tile will trigger rumbling. So you'll see that. Okay, I've went to that specific spot, and now I'm gonna come back in here, and now there's a boss. Okay, and I've already messed up. I'm just gonna reset. The alternate, because you'll see now if I do this, I'm in a door. Whoops. I'll come in here and I'll get the spark, and what I'll do is I'll store it. And I'll use it. Alright, that's great and all. And I've got the rumbling, but like, I only need it to run to here and turn around. So you can spark across this room, but it's slower. Because you not only do you have the startup and the bonk animations, but you're going past where you need to go. So you're not really optimizing the distance. You're by running to this point, you're optimizing the distance, and reducing it as much as possible. Oopsie, sorry about that. By sparking, you're maximizing the distance. And of course, you can come down here. If you need to save, you can save. If you need to recharge, you can recharge. I'll just recharge because why not? I'm already down here. And then there are missiles in this room, which your missiles can now destroy those purple barriers. I'm not going to grab them, but if you feel inclined to do so, by all means grab them. Alright, so now I'm going to make a save right here, because this boss fight can be a little tricky for first time. At first, you're going to need a lot of practice, trust me. The way I go about this is I run in with a charge, and what I do is I try to jump at him and try to hit him. I fire a charge shot and a missile to get him to start hopping immediately. And the reason I fire a charge shot and a missile is because I want him to start hopping immediately. If I get him to start hopping immediately, I can grab the edge of the ladder and start firing missiles, which I didn't do there, regrettably, but I'll show it here. Alright, I hit. I fired a missile, I got some missiles in there, and this will kill. Ooh, I'm one short. I'm too short. Hello, what? If I don't hit missiles, the other alternative would be to let him run and do that, and then just kind of walk away. And you're going to want to eyeball, like, the distance, like, how far you are away, and it's going to be something that you want to feel out. Because if I'll do it where I hit him, and I'll do it where I don't hit him first. Okay, I didn't hit him. He's gonna run back, slide. He's gonna get under him. I missed. Shit. I think that was 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's essentially 3. So if you're gonna want to count it out, it's 3 from being directly over top. It's 3 to the left and right from the middle of box. This is box, by the way. We call this boss box because it's the security box, security robot, whatever. It's always 3. You kind of get used to the feel and like the timing of it. Oops. Let me reset that. That was Barbo. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a clean fight. Didn't jump to the left at all. That's the kind of fight that you want. You're able to kind of, if you hit all your charge shot and all your missiles immediately, you can get them down really quickly. And boom, easy, clean fight. The reason so you might be wondering why you fire a charge shot at the start. The reason you fire a charge shot is because the charge shot, again, has 2 parts. So you have a 2-block wide of where you're actually, where you have the chance to hit this, the hitbox. As opposed to the missile, which is, very specific with where you have to hit it. So the charge beam gives us that extra layer of protection, or that extra, like, whatever, to where we can hit it. You could do something like this, too, if you're gonna meme. If for 100%, you can just stand in his hitbox and rinse him, but, like, you want to be as close to the middle as possible. Funnily enough, this doesn't actually become solid until you jump through it, until it lands. And this is gonna take, like, a lot of practice. Like, I'm showing off, like, the fast way to do this. Got off one thing. Fun fact, you see how I can't go through the door? It's because the cutscene hasn't, the event flag hasn't advanced because I ran to the left. Little fun thing I wanted to show off. Because you see the debris is gone, right? But now, once I kind of hit this stand right here, it'll activate. Little fun fact, a little fun thing I could show off, because this is... I don't know if I'm going to keep this one short, because Sector 6 can be a little lengthy. Potentially. I want to go for another hour is the real question. I think I'm going to keep it as 1 sector per video, unfortunately. I know y'all are probably clamoring to get to Sector 6, understandably so, but everything comes in due time, so we'll do this one last time. I'm not going to jump and hit him early. I've shown that off quite a number of times. So let's say you're a little new to the thing, you want to, like, oh, I'm watching this tutorial, I've got confidence, let me just run in and... Oops, let me just grab this. If you stand on this first rung here, or, well, it's the second one, technically, sorry. You can literally just wait. If you want to fire a missile over here, just, what you want to do is, if you just keep coming over here, and then walking back to where he is, or, well, not necessarily, technically. So you just want to stand here, wait until he fires, he's going to jump, and then just go right where he was standing, and you can just walk back and fire right down. It's a really good, that's a really good starting spot if you're just learning this fight. Because it's just, like, a lot of people might start the fight and not know what to do. The second rung right here is where you're going to want to stand. Or not, I guess. Once it fires, alright, he's done, he's about to jump. Right where he was standing. Come back this way. He jumps. Right where he was standing. He jumps the same distance left and right. Right here. Boom. Easy. Easy fight. You don't have to work in the diagonals just yet. Diagonal shots are they take some time to kind of get comfortable with where specifically you have to be to where it's going to hit. And you have actually, when you're firing the diagonals, you have some leeway with how big that hitbox is and where specifically you have to stand. You're not firing it into, a 1x1 diagonal that you have to be super precise. But you have a little bit of leeway left and right with where you can. So if you, get the fight down. First, my recommendation is use the fight, if you're just beginning, use the fight that I just did to get comfortable with moving on the ladder and kind of lining it up. And then slowly work in diagonal shots and, running in and jumping with the charge shot, the missile, and then, doing the faster fight. So just kind of work with the strat that you just saw, and then work in, like, some of the stuff that I was doing at first with the diagonal shots, when I climb away and then climb back over, because once he jumps, then I start to climb back over, and I can time it up perfectly to just fire straight down into him. Or, I grab the ladder, I fire some straight down, I fire some right at him, and then I can climb away and then just fire the diagonals to finish off the fight. Build up to it. You don't have to be... Listen, Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't have to be an expert at this game immediately, right? Take your time. And the one thing is that, like... I don't know if I've said this at all yet. I don't know if the fifth video is really the place to be saying this, but it's important to remember, Rome was not built in a day. And everybody that you might watch that plays this game, they had to start somewhere as well. They all had to have a starting point. Whether or not they started and took off quicker than, you or somebody else, that's based on their own experience, their own skills. If you're new to speedrunning, it might take you a little bit to kind of pick something up, to kind of get a feel for it. I'm the kind of person where when I'm speedrunning, I've always done like the 12-hour challenge where I'll pick up a game in that 12 hours, I'll learn it, and within 2 weeks, I'll get a semi-respectable time, or a time that, I exceeded my expectations with where I would be at. I've done it with a lot of different games. You might take a little longer, because when I started running this game, this was the only game that I ran, and Thousand Year Door, but I don't talk about that because that was a failed attempt, and I never stuck with it. But this was the second game I attempted to learn, right? So, and I've been running this game for about 6 or 7 years now, give or take. Maybe 6 years around at this point. I didn't have a 46 any % time, or, I wasn't able to do 1% deathless or 0% deathless, or do the hard categories, or even be as, at a point where I'm able to kind of sit here and try to help somebody who's new learn this game, learn the tricks. This is a bunch of experience, so you have to understand that, like, I guess the main message is don't be intimidated by something. Don't let, you see all these top runners doing all these things that, they've got these top times and everything else. That's not the intimidation. That shouldn't be a point of intimidation. It really shouldn't be. Because you can be just as good, if not better, if you take the time to practice, to learn, and, surpass them. And, like, even reaching out and talking to some people in the community, just to kind of learn things that you might not have known about. There's one thing that I just learned about this game recently, about the final end credit screen, and that is you can make the credits scroll again. There's always something new I'm learning about this game. Oh god, this fight is bad. And, you're not always gonna, nail every single run. You'll have your bad runs, you'll have your really good runs. But, you don't want to... It's definitely not something that you want to let intimidate you or anything else. And I think, I was on a podcast where I kind of talked about this, but, like, you just need to take that first step into... dipping your toe in the water, seeing what it's like. I think I'm a missile away, 2 missiles. You just gotta be, courageous enough to take that first step. Oh, dang. You just have to be courageous enough to take that first step, and just kind of dip your toe in the water. And just build up your confidence every single time, and just grind your time down slowly. or quickly. I mean, and you know, and it's definitely determinant upon like your experience with speedrunning as well. Like, if you're, you know, maybe pick up on things a little bit quicker, you might pick up some of these things a bit faster, like Scotty did when he first started running the game. Or, you know, you know, or you could be a little, you might learn things a little slower. That's just as fine. But I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. Let's continue. Alright, so now that we can stand on this, you can jump up here to the right, and you can wall kick. Or, well, I guess you can't. You can come up this way and just jump up there, or you can kind of wall jump on that one. So you just kind of be like on here, it'll be a jump, and then a wall jump up there. Or again, you know, just jump up there. We got the music shift, we just hit the event flag, or the event flag is already changed. So when you're up here, I like to try, I mean, you don't have to do this. When you get up here, you're just gonna run to the left, and you can fire a couple missiles. Boom, boom, boom. Now you can buffer an input through the door, get the spark, and then shine spark into that wall, if you want to, or I'll just start over this room. So, you just saw that I ran through the room, fired a couple missiles to get the side hoppers out of the way, and through the door, I buffered a down input, ran off, and then I shine sparked at a block. That block requires a bomb to get through, but you can break it with a shine spark. The other way that I'm going to do this is slightly faster, and it actually fixes the door a little bit. So I'm going to jump through the door high. Oops, that's not right. And then I'll lay the bomb. Let's try that again. The spot where I hit that was wrong. I want to jump a little lower, maybe? I don't remember where I have to jump. Shoot. Because this is a door fix. Let me feel this out. Hang on. Let's learn through doing. We're just gonna run through, open the door, and then we're just gonna do a small hop. That's what it is, a small hop, and then we're just gonna lay a bomb there, and then just hop right through. Try that one more time. Fire a missile right there, and then right here, and then do a small hop. Clear that, lay the bomb, jump, unmorph, and fire just in case, so you can kill this side hopper because he can come over and hit you as you're coming through. And if you have low health, it would be very bad. And then as you run to the left, so what you're going to do is you're going to run to the left, fire a missile, and now there's two ways to go about this. Let me make a save right here. So, the first thing that you can do is after you kill that guy, you can the second side hopper, you can morph, jump up and lay a bomb, and then just kind of go right through. Or, and this is the reason I reset the room. You know, do like this, you can jump up here and morph and lay a bomb. So you can see this tile right here, right? This one where it becomes the 1x1. Not, you know, this guy. It's this one over here. The one just under the bomb block. The one just under the bomb block is important. So there's a little bit of a line between, that you can see between that block and the one below it, where it transitions into that, like, gray pipe. That thin black line. So that black line right there, like right where the top of the morph ball is right there, essentially, the bottom portion of this, just draw a line directly across to the left, and that's where that thin line is. That's the important visual that I always go with for this. So you can run up, jump into those blocks, and lay a bomb, and you can see that it's kind of, you know, laying the bomb, as long as it's above that line, or just, you know, slightly above it, like right there. Hello? You'll break that block specifically. If you lay it too high, you'll break that block to, you know, you'll break that, and you'll kind of hit that. But another thing you can do, and I'll show this off right here, is that, 15 missiles. When you come in here, you can actually get a missile, or an E-tank, I should say, rather. There's a little pedestal here, and you can get an E-tank right in the ceiling here, if you need to get that. And you are able to get this. There it is. Oh, now it's reforming? What the frick? You gotta lay it, like, almost, like, it's really tight, the timing for this. Not there. As you're running in, it's right about there. It's really quick. It's a really fast movement. Very tight timing. I don't know how that one didn't work, if I'm being completely honest. That one will work. And then you can just kind of time it to where you roll right through. So that's really the bare bones of this one. And then you're just going to come down here and run left. Charge I kind of messed that up a bit. The reason I charge this is if I want to jump here, I can kind of, if it's to the left a little bit, I kind of come through and I let go of it. Not only to shoot that red guy, the little flyer guy. So I can kind of pseudo screw if he's like over here. And then what I'm doing is I'm releasing to kind of stand up faster as well. And I'm kind of pressing the button as well to kind of fire a secondary shot to stand up faster. But, you know, and then you're just going to kind of do the same thing. And we are out of Sector 3. Again, I said it was a short sector, and I apologize if this video is kind of a little on the short side. I know that I've been kind of going over an hour every time, but, and there was that, like, 5 to 10 minute, like, whatever rambling that I had in the end of this video, but we'll keep it close to an hour. Keep it, like, short and digestible. And, that's Sector 3. I didn't get the Shine Spark on the thing, because I forgot, because I got the recharge instead. Oops. Not out of the woods yet. Still have some dialogue. Really quick. Oops. And that is where we're going to end it today. I want to thank you all for watching. If you're following this, you know, or you want to follow this, there are 4 other videos that are already out. And, once we finish up with some of these sectors, gosh, excuse me. As we're gonna get further and further, the next episode will probably the next video will probably be the last kind of one where it's like this kind of format, where it's, you know, I walk through and it's just one sector per video, because Sector 5 will probably be this way as well. After we visit all the sectors once, we're only returning to sectors for brief periods of time. And then there are boss fights and everything else. So, once we get to the back half of this game, and right now we're not even halfway through, we're not halfway through yet. The format's going to be a little different, and I'm going to try to cover as much as I can in those videos, while, you know, trying to distill all the information that I can. So, Thank you for watching. Look out next Sunday for part 6. Part 5, right? Part 5. So yeah. Have a good week. Or see you in the next video.